everybody? It's your boy Cuff and the Dip coming at you guys with another one. Hopefully, everybody's good out there, man, as usual. And I got a few co hosts in the back with me. So we got Grind Time and Just a Man '04. What's the word? How you guys doing today, man? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's good, everybody? How we doing? Happy Friday. It's the weekend is here. Thank you, Jesus. The weekend is here. I know everybody works for the weekend. It's here. But Brian, how you doing, brother?
I'm living, baby. I'm living. And just so you know, the weekend is here. It has come. Anybody, you guys got any big plans for the weekend or just kind of relaxing, laying low?
Man, relax is seeming like what's on my card for a little bit. Maybe some trading, man. The market moving to the upside, it usually promotes people to want to spend a little bit more money because you made a little bit of money. So, you never know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the golf course all day tomorrow, and then I'm gonna chill on Sunday.
Okay. Okay. So we got golfer dreams here. Okay. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. So we've been looking pretty interesting. We took a break yesterday. Actually, it was more of a gaming break. So if you guys actually do any gaming at all, period, feel free to tap in with us on the gaming side of the world. It is pretty fun over there. I'm not gonna lie. The banter's not the same, so don't come expecting me to say anything about XRP or BTC or ETH. I may mention it, you know what I mean, depending on the scenario. But normally, you're just going to get full on just gaming banter, gaming, maybe a little bit of argumentative going back and forth. Hey, you're a son of a, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, then you're gonna get some of that. I'm recently going into PC gaming, so I feel like I'm elderly now on the games. I am trying my damn best to get used to the PC, but I really just sometimes just want to boot my damn Xbox up. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So let's get
It
to it.
Yo, let
was
me.
it was weird. Like normally, Cuff is better at like Call of Duty than I am. Uh, but yesterday was a different story. But we did first off, we did go back to back to back to back wins
Yeah,
to start the day off. We started with a nice 4 for 4.
yeah.
If you're a Wendy's fan, or just a four piece. I also got a warning because my chat was a little. I was a little angry.
Yeah, well,
Got a little angry
it's
on the
Call of
mic.
Duty. It's Call of Duty, man.
These people. The say whatever you want with zero consequences is wild to me. But anyways,
Yo, let me find out you're fudding my bags over there to little teenagers, and I'm about to jump up on there and clap that ass.
Yeah, yeah. So
pause.
first of all, we're yeah, I was thinking that, but I'm glad you paused it before the pause was paused. But no, but yeah, no, I'm just thinking to myself like most of them are like, man, like, dude, they're pretty young. Some of them. Dude, I was talking. I don't know what I said. I was like, yo, I had went down one of the times, and I'm like, yo, they're right here. And I really wish I could have got the game chat. I'm working on doing getting the game chat in there. But this one person was like, "Dude, shut up!" Came back and shot me and shit. It was like, it's just the commentary sometimes inside a game, and it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was pretty wild. We had,
Yeah,
we had some good randoms yesterday. We
yeah,
had a
we
pretty
did.
solid rando the first few games, and we dominated
Yeah,
pretty handily.
yeah. The first Randy was definitely cool. A lot of different conversations going on. Definitely could have got distracted by the conversations in the background, but definitely could play his ass off though. Revived us a
I,
few
I,
times in that shit.
I feel like he could have his own like drama series.
Man, bro, like it was a lot going on, man. But just to just transition from that, man, let's pop into the drama in the market right now. So we're still over a $3 trillion market cap right now, which is still pretty bullish right now. No complaints from me. That's definitely nice to see. We're only down 0.1% in a 24-hour period, so that means that we're still trying to tug a lug there, which is good. Let's go to our total market cap here. Let's zoom it down, see how we're looking. So we're still looking about the same, just retrace just a little bit. I've pretty much advised you guys that I feel like a retracement was gonna kind of in the cards anyway. If we wanted to just put a rough ceiling on this, I would probably say ceiling would probably be around right there, which is where we just recently hit and retraced. So what we're in for right now is pretty much what Grind was speaking about, us creating a new hot pocket, if you will. You know what I mean? We were calling that the hot pocket because this is where we're probably going to see a price reaction at. So we did see a price reaction within this small little hot pocket that we had. Got a new level of support. Still got the same support right here within this trend line we've been following for about 2 years. So what we're looking at right now is with the retrace right here. So will we push up and try to go forward? We're at the end of the week. Let's be realistic. You usually don't see a whole lot of crypto push throughout the weekend. So possibilities are we're probably going to retrace a little bit, right? So volume starts to slow down as the weekend. It may pick up on Monday. We'll see some sentiments of it kind of picking up later on, like Sunday. I feel like when people try to get ahead of what could possibly come for the week. Some people like to invest later on Sundays and then early on Monday. So it just depends. Cryptocurrency doesn't have a time to where they just turn off the lights. You know what I mean? You can trade crypto at any hour of the damn night you want to. So with that being said, I think we pull back a little bit. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's wild. We've kind of learned through this process, you know, doing YouTube and streaming and all that kind of stuff, just how the world clock, how different it really is. But yes, usually Sunday night you'll have, you know, the Asian market, Australia, as the rest of the world starts waking up on Monday. We start to kind of see what's going to happen late on Sunday night here in the States. So it's nice to be able to kind of tap in and see that, because like you said, Cuff, it's like a casino. The lights never turn off. There's no clocks, and they pump that high oxygen in there to keep you staying.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So what I'm seeing here is, like I said, we'll see the sentiments kind of coming in later in the night on Sundays, but how we kind of come into things, either hot moving and trying to push forward because we're gonna get rejected, and then from there we're gonna start another candle. You know what I mean? So from where we stop, where we get rejected, as where we start our next candle, and then it's probably gonna try to retest again. If the retest does fail, that's when we'll kind of fall down into a consolidation, which kind of went with how we were kind of looking at Bitcoin and smart money that was coming into it, and the cycles that the smart money was having at that time period. It kind of correlates. So we get rejected around this range, had a nice push, which is good. Secure these levels, create like another small hot pocket that we'll kind of travel into. Will we consolidate until we get a price squeeze, or will we keep trying to retest this, actually break it, flip it into a support, and then continue to go up? Is the question that everybody kind of has for just right this second. So we'll see how everything does kind of pan out. But in the meantime, in between time, I like using that in the meantime, just slide it in there. We'll go to the crypto bubbles with our boy Grind Time and see what he has going on.
Yeah, so if we're going to look at Bitcoin, it's up 1.3% for the day. It was trading above 95K, pulled back a little bit, 94,838. Nice week though, right? 12.3%. So definitely looking good there. ETH up 1.5%, just under 1,800, 1,795, still sitting at a $2.16 billion market cap. So again, ETH has been an underperformer so far this year, but we're sitting 12.9% up by the week. Usually when you see Bitcoin, you know, making moves, everything else below it starts moving along with it, right? So we got Sol sitting even Steven at $151, though. That's not, you know, if you're the Sol believer, Sol maxi, it's still a nice price to grab, because it's sitting 13% up for the week, and I don't think Sol's going anywhere anytime soon. This has been a big gain this week, 66.8% for the week. You got Sui making huge moves. It reached $3 and almost 80 cents today, which I think that may be an all-time high for Sui. $11.45 billion market cap, so 6% up for the day. And then this is what we're going to touch on a little later, but we got Trump sitting at 10.2% up for the day, 72.1% up for the week. So we're going to dive into that later, though.
Yeah, most definitely gonna drive into the Trump swag and all that good stuff later. But just looking at the overall market, like he was saying, going over it, and even looking at the 7 day. So 7 days on Bitcoin, we're looking at 12.3%. So that's a good week in my book. Once again, Ethereum actually for once following the market. You know what I mean? Ethereum's up 12.7% on the week, kind of following behind Bitcoin again. You know what I mean? I know Bitcoin kind of has that dominance, but to see Ethereum go up 12.7% in a week, and we haven't seen Ethereum really going anywhere but down for a long time, is nice to see. Definitely nice to see. I have no complaints about that. XRP kind of on the back burner right this second, but still up 5.3% on the 7 day period. Not horrible. Not horrible, but still not following I feel like the bullish trend of the entire market, because I wouldn't say that it's following its own algorithm to a certain extent. It still follows the swings that the market has, but XRP needs catalysts and is under its belt, kind of similar to what Ethereum needs, but Ethereum is actually following the market. So if it actually gets these catalysts, it can actually catapult from the small levels that it's at now to moving forward, which will be a good thing for us. So XRP still going to be looking at it, because I think that XRP is still going to have its day. It's just I feel like segments in the market to where one thing is important, another thing kind of falls to the back burner. That thing that falls to the back burner, you find good levels of support, you can invest into them as long as you actually have good feelings about it. You've done your research, you feel like this is a good long-term play to invest into. Of course, not financial advice, but that's when you start investing into those things, when people are not paying attention to it. Then when XRP starts to try to push to like $5, possibly $10 ranges and stuff and such like that, you're in profits at that point, rather than trying to chase it and having FOMO. Like, man, I definitely should have put it in then. You know what I mean? Kind of take advantage of these lower levels, especially while the market itself is starting to look bullish, right?
Well, we had a great example of that, with SWE, right? A little over a week ago, when the market was bleeding out a bit, we saw SWE start trading under $2.
Yeah,
I think you could let me see, what was it, a $1.70 or something, and then now
it went
we're
down pretty low.
Yeah, and now we're sitting at $3.70. So that's a nice gain right there, just in a short period of time.
Yeah. But the cool thing is that the majority of this and this push is being facilitated by the volume that's actually coming inside of Bitcoin. But I think you got an article stating similar to that. So let's see what you got right here.
Yeah, so this is off of, I believe, CoinDesk. Yep, CoinDesk. And they're pretty much, seeing what we've been kind of showing everybody all week, on possibly what the market may be doing, especially with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's poised for the strongest weekly gain since Trump win, as ETFs gobble 2.7 billion inflows. So pretty much since November of 2024, Bitcoin's at its strongest weekly gain. And not just Bitcoin. We see it 11% surge to 95,000 this week, is on track to be the asset's strongest weekly performance, again, since November 2024 here. And then it's also, Ethereum followed closely, gaining 2%. To hover just over 1,800. So it's been bouncing, around just above 1,800 and then pull back a little bit. Along with SWE, Bitcoin Cash, and HBAR, so really bullish week so far in the crypto market, with all the inflows coming in.
Yeah, definitely. And what I would like to say is another one that I've been paying attention to at this point is Solana. Like, look at Solana kind of following the entire market. It's actually up the same amount percentage-wise as Ethereum, 12.7%. ETH's at 12.7%. Solana's at 12.7%, meaning that it's kind of following the flow of the market, which is good. You know what I mean? It's becoming one of those big dogs that we can actually count on, maybe following the market's algorithm, possibly, which is good. I feel like that's a solid thing. Something else that was moving that I actually wasn't expecting to be moving, but going back to my tinfoil hat and my conspiracy theories, Dogecoin. So the release that it wouldn't be used like in a government or any other capacity like that was a hit to it, and it took a downtrend from there, right? But what has the entire market pretty much been doing, like, but restructuring, rebuilding, reconsolidating, and larger entities kind of re-entering the market once some of these news or negative catalysts kind of tank the market a bit. So Dogecoin doesn't seem to be out of the races for that. Also, I still think that there's for it to be up 15.2% on a 7 day period is pretty big for Dogecoin, especially since there's what real demand does this have. That To me, that just shows that this is one of the cryptocurrencies that larger entities are kind of flooding money into. At, like I said, after one of those negative catalysts kind of come through, and this is probably going to be one that actually goes to the races, but we're just not paying attention to it right this second. So,
Well, if you also look at SHIB, there's been chatter about SHIB again. It's up 14.9% for the week, and then another one is Bonk. If everybody's talking about meme coins dead, but here we are. Bonk's up 28.1% for the day, 66.6% for the week. So I mean, money's flowing in.
Yeah, and there's some other things that you can see, like the ones that are actually doing really well and following the market are interesting, and then you got like anomalies like Sui. Like we were, like Brian said, we were looking at this at a pretty low number. You know what I mean? I actually told you guys when I was charting, I'm like, yo, this is actually a really good range to buy this at, and it was underneath that. It was $1 and some change. You know what I mean, to get it. And now we're sitting at $3.54, and on a 7 day period, we're up 65.3%. 65.3% on this Sui here. So definitely something that people are paying attention to. People are definitely sitting some money down on this blockchain, and there are some advancements that are coming from this blockchain, which is definitely a good thing. I can see larger institutions kind of investing into different cryptos that actually have a future in the market. So that's probably why you're seeing pushes like this, especially with this bullish like structure that we have in the charts as far as Bitcoin, the global market cap. It looks like we're ready for another push. I mean, a negative catalyst could send us down, but it looks overall like we're getting set up and ready for another push. It might not be tomorrow or within the next week, but it looks like we're getting ready for a good push up there. But
yeah, I think as we get closer to, there's a lot of the talk about the tariffs and things like that, and a lot of it is, people, countries and we're starting to have conversations and open those talks up again, and I think that's really kind of been the big key, because I know a lot of people were worried about where the global economics, picture was going to look like, and we're starting to kind of see maybe the very beginning of it becoming clear. But I think a big catalyst for that is going to be if the top two global market caps, in the United States and China, if we can figure out a way to come to the table and work that out and be kind of in harmony, I think that's going to help out a lot. I think that's going to be the big catalyst that could possibly send us into a crazy bull run.
Yeah, most definitely can. And I would like to see where things go, but I know we got bigger things in the mix. There's ETFs now, which we didn't have that last bull run to really fall back on. There's so many different countries looking into cryptocurrency. There's AI projects being developed. There's just so many different things that we can look forward to. But I know Brian has an article up that we can pop into.
Well, we also, coming into this bull run too, we have pro crypto president, right? I mean, absolutely. We haven't seen this ever. And along with other countries following suit with their presidents, we talk about it time and time again on these streams and spaces. We pulled it up about 3 weeks ago. El Salvador's, buying a Bitcoin a day. So just what happens if other countries follow suit in those footsteps. But with this one, this is off of digital assets. So crypto first banks are coming to shake up the banking world. So here's proof that mass adoption is slowly, being developed. The Federal Reserve is the latest U.S. regulator to clear the path for crypto banking to enter the mainstream. So I'm not going to read everything, but I'm going to take a few bullet points from this as I was reading it myself earlier today. Right here, as of this writing, the only federally chartered crypto operating in the U.S. is Anchorage Digital Bank, NA, with other efforts such as those launched previously by Paxos National Trust and what is that? Protogo National Trust, having faced obstacles at the federal level. One other institution of note is FV Bank, which operates as a U.S. licensed digital bank, providing a platform where clients can manage both traditional USD accounts and cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, it's knocking on the door, and I don't know if you're bullish enough, or if you're collecting, but and now's the time to start investing. Not financial advice, but when the big dogs start coming in, something's up, right?
There's a saying out there. It was that buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah.
Here's the rumor.
Yep. So you gotta understand, man. These and like I said, it's easier to make money when you're early to the party. Like it's always easier to make money. It's easier to get food. Well, let's correlate that. It's easier to get food when you're early to the party too, right? If you show up late, usually the good stuff's gone, right? You got the bad pops left over, the nasty beers that everybody, the light beers that everybody like passed over to get real beers. You know what I mean? Like it's just you know what I mean? Like you get the sloppy seconds pretty much. So if you want to avoid that, you got to be early to the party. How you be early? You do your research. You double check your research, you make sure you're sure about it, and you make sound investments in good spots. You know what I mean? Especially when the talk of the town is not that particular cryptocurrency.
Another way you can do that is hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you're on, and stay tapped in, stay tuned in. That way you can catch all of our live streams. So you can. It's just another tool to use for your research.
Yeah, pretty much. So, little template to utilize. We do provide a lot of information, from articles to just overall view of the market, diving into charts and finding good spots to actually invest, or not financial advice, but where I would possibly invest into something, or it's just a lot of information that is gathered here. So definitely hit the like button, retweet, subscribe, tap the screen if you're on TikTok. I know we've had a couple people pop in, listen to some information, pop out. So definitely going to be a consistency thing on TikTok. So we're building that one up. YouTube pops when crypto pops. So we'll have a nice following there. Twitter is, it's up and down. It depends on what the market's looking like at that time period. If things are running, people pop in, But this is going to be a thing to where the people who are paying attention to the information we provide, I think that they are actually successful in the market. And I think that's what people really want to be. They want to be successful in this market. They want to make money. And this is definitely a spot where we're going to be helping people facilitate that.
And you know what else they need to tap? They need to go to In the Meantime on X, jump in that Telegram and start tapping to start earning some in the meantime. But if you can pull up the other, because I have another article that correlates to what I was saying.
Let's do it.
So with the Federal Reserve being, a regulator. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. So this one's just saying, U.S. banking regulators announced on Thursday they were pulling back several documents that urge banks to show caution when dabbling in cryptocurrency and related activities. So the Federal Reserve said it was withdrawing a pair of supervisory letters stipulating that banks should seek advance approval, from regulators before engaging in crypto assets and stablecoin activities. So this is just stating, pretty much from Reuters that they pulled back some guardrails on bank crypto activities, and just if you're looking into getting into that sector, just stay cautious.
Yeah, you got to stay cautious at all times, man. So be aware, get the information, man, and you're getting it live. So hopefully you guys are utilizing the information we're providing. Also, if you're inside of the chat, this is an interactive stream. We're not robots. Feel free to throw a chat up there. You know what I mean? Like, let us know what you guys are thinking. If you guys have any opinions on the subjects we're touching on, do you think I'm full of shit with the TA I'm doing? Like, call me out, bro. You know what I mean? No, but seriously, anybody can chat or just throw a comment in. You guys are more than welcome to. But what I'm looking at right here on BTC's chart, which I'll just throw up my screen really quick. so we can get a full screen of it. But this is pretty much what I described to you guys. So I told you guys previously, which I might start clipping some of this stuff, but I told you guys that I felt like that this will push up and possibly even go into this zone and pull out. So this is pretty much what we're seeing kind of rounding off this week. It's pretty much right at our level of resistance. So if it does begin to pull back, we got two options of bottoms. So we have a moderate pullback, which could possibly land us around like 90K, which is this is the preferred one, which I would love to flip this green for us to have it as a support level to go back up to retest this level at about 94, 95K or so, which I'm cool with that. Or a dramatic pullback, depending on what news comes out with tariffs or anything else, which brings us back to this floor of about 86K. So, which would not be the most horrible thing in the world. It's still the 86K above the 80K range where we need to remain bullish in the market. So, still solid there. Still solid, no complaints. So, that's what we're kind of looking at for the BTC side of the world. I don't know why my indicators are all wonky right now. I still got to get my shit in order. But other than that, man, we're still looking like we want to cross. So if we can get a slight pullback, I don't think these bands spread too far, and we get it to where we can actually get a push. We consolidate around this 90K range and then go back up to retest. I think that we break through this and have a nice secondary leg up on this this kind of bullish run that we've had on BTC. So not bad. We're in a good position, but I still feel like that right here kind of even validated my thoughts a few days ago that we're going to go into this range and then maybe possibly have a pullback. So just my initial thoughts on that. Let me see. We also got ETH. ETH is still, you know what I mean? Kind of in a way to where we didn't. I'm not seeing the volume that I wanted to see. I wanted to see this push closer towards 1900 before the week closed. So we're not getting the volume that we needed. So this may be a consolidation around this range, and we'll be lucky to hold this range if we do not have enough volume to push. So definitely looks like it still wants to turn around, but we're in the same situation almost as Bitcoin, just with less volume. So this could just consolidate around this range, waiting for a pop rather than Bitcoin kind of being in a range to where we're still kind of bullish in this. We're still trying to establish a bottom for ETH right now currently. So it may retest this 1600 range is what it may do for ETH, especially if Bitcoin does pull back. So like I said, just all of it is dependent on Bitcoin. And then we got SUI, which I know you guys would love for me to dive into, but before we do even dive into that one, I haven't seen enough in the meantime, so we're gonna take a quick break.
And the winner is...
Sometimes you just need an in the meantime break. But Grind, what do we have here?
Yeah, I'm gonna like kind of throwing it at you, you know, because this wasn't in our lineup, but ARK Invest says 1.5 million Bitcoin is possible. I wanted to just kind of bring this to you guys' attention, and just, I know we're, you know, still got a little bit of time, but wanted to pick your brains because they believe Bitcoin could hit 1.5 million by the end of the decade here, by 2030. And then they also have a breakdown. Kathy Wood, who is
CEO
of ARK Invest, I mean, laid out three scenarios. The bear case, it would be 300,000. Base case, 710, or bull case, 1.5. And obviously, these targets are based on assumptions regarding the total addressable markets, penetration rates, and other factors such as Bitcoin supply schedule. So do you feel that a $1.5 million Bitcoin could be possible by within the next 5 years.
Within the next 5 years, it depends on how things roll out, honestly, right? So if we get a situation to where people are kind of more so compliant up with the tariff route that Trump went, and we begin to pay less and we begin to make more, and transportation is not harmed from there, and then more businesses continue to migrate to U.S. soil to begin to build and do different things, we could see some really crazy shit. You know what I mean? Because we've seen small spurts of volume, and this is really, like I said, just small pieces of volume, and we haven't even really seen the main volume pop into the market just yet. So with Bitcoin already hitting a $110,000 all-time high with moderate volume coming into the market, and people just strategically buying the bottom because they can't really make too many waves right this second. Just imagine like a full blown, like the volume's moving, people are buying in, these larger entities are trying to buy in that didn't buy in at that point. People are mass adopting crypto, people are adopting it into their business structures. It could get really crazy, and the main cryptocurrency that people are using is Bitcoin, but that does correlate to the entire market getting a huge volume push, as we will be pushing well above $5 trillion global market cap at that point. So that's I don't know. I don't know if it'll hit 1.5 million. I feel like those are some really wide ranges because they have it pretty much in cases of 300,000 to 1.5 million. That's a big ass jump from bottom to top. So it's kind of hard to gauge something like that, especially in the future. It depends on what type of news we have. But if we have everything as far as all our ducks lining in a row, catalysts are starting to line up, everybody's kind of adopting cryptocurrency, more countries adopt it, I honestly feel like that the ceiling of Bitcoin is going to be determined by each catalyst that comes out each day. To be honest, I don't think that it really has a ceiling in that type of scenario, especially if it's globally utilized, and everybody starts to either be pushed towards using it or just migrate towards wanting to invest into it. So
I mean, you got to realize there's only 21 million Bitcoin. So it's not like gold, where they're finding more gold every day. It's not like, current, like the dollar, where we can print more and change the value of that. I mean, there's only 21 million Bitcoin, and you start seeing, we're already starting to see these countries start to kind of build their Bitcoin reserves. I mean, 1.5 mil. That's a big number. I mean, that's 15x from where we are, over a 15x from where we are right now. So 300, I think, is extremely possible. The 7 is, I mean, I like it. I'd love to see a $700,000 Bitcoin.
That also means that we're going into a super cycle in a sense, right? So the cycles usually run on 4-year periods. They're talking about within the next 5 years, it hitting 300,000 to 1.5 million. So that means that our lows and bearish periods are going to be set on previous all-time highs. Basically, is what they're saying. We're going to create these ranges. We're going to travel in these ranges pretty much throughout these 5 years. We're going to create levels of support, and once we have pullbacks for bearish periods of the market, we're still going to be above previous all-time highs. Like we'll pull back to like 110K. You know what I mean, or something like that, to where it's revisited frequently, or maybe even 150 to 200, depending on how high it actually gets. So it'd be interesting to see something like that, because that kind of puzzles you to see what like the price of XRP would be, especially if it gets kind of globally utilized, and because they've had some announcements come out to where some larger entities are looking at utilizing them and globally used entities. So that could definitely persuade XRP to be anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks, depending on what the push is. People are really saying that it can go to $1,000 bucks, but the market cap for that would be astronomical. But I guess if Bitcoin's market cap is astronomical at that point, right, there has to be somebody to kind of follow up and try to come behind it, right? So who is it? Solana? Is it XRP? Is it Sui? Is it like, what's going to be the next top runner at that point? Which brings me to the Sui chart that I actually have up right here. And if you're looking at it, we just want to, you know what I mean, just put a potential bottle cap on this for a pullback possibly, or for it utilizing it as support, could be the thing, right? We don't know if it's going to pull back within the next few hours or whatever else, but we'll see how this does pan out. But it does look good from right here, and we called out around this range where we seen this dip that this was a good buy, and then you see this nice push that we got up, and we're not even crossed on the MACD just yet. So it's really close to crossing, but it's just not convinced yet, which means that once it actually gets to a point, so if it stays above this range, it consolidates, or if it pulls back, consolidates in between this window right here, and then gets a push, breaks this again, and then finally crosses on MACD, and we got bullish momentum. This thing has like an open field to run for a little bit, especially if we get enough volume to where we have enough momentum to cross this point right here. You're pretty much in price discovery at that point. So everything's new grounds. There's no restrictions. There's nothing holding it back. There's no resistance, and all of those new levels are going to be created during that price discovery. So fun times. So literally got basically one window if they can hold it to kind of get through a couple soft levels of support that they'll have to deal with. One of the main ones probably being around this range or so, or what I'll call it, this range. It might be this range. Probably would have hold it up the most, but other than that, man, Sui's looking pretty damn good. So I have no complaints about that. The XRP is trying to maintain and hold this $2 range. If it does not get some more volume and or some more momentum, as you can see, the momentum right now, yeah, it turned neutral, but we're a far distance from wanting to cross and become bullish right this second. Need more volume, need more interest. If not, we'll be coming down to a lower range on XRP versus what the entire market is seeing right now. So, but that can change with a simple catalyst. So, this really depends.
Yeah, I mean it's wild how a tweet, a mention, something like that can send something going crazy. We've seen it in the past. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah, and a lot of people are asleep on XLM, which is crazy to me. It's actually just throwing some mock lines up here. It actually just broke out of its previous downtrend with this market push, which is a good thing. I don't know why my mouse is acting fucking funny. It's not spot on. My mouse is acting weird. It's like when I drag it, it's like shaking, like it took drugs. What the fuck?
Too much caffeine or not enough?
Right, but you guys get the gist. I'm tired of fucking trying to get this exact. So this was the previous downtrend that we were on for XLM. The support level that it bounced at, and the squeeze that we had and that we broke over. So could this still consolidate? Of course, it could definitely still consolidate. It's got a level of resistance just above and could utilize some catalysts to kind of propel it a little bit. But the overall market doing well is good.
So, Cuff, I also want to bring to your attention, too, we touched on it the last stream with the SWE gaming console, right? Or a gaming device that they got coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's supposed to drop sometime in 2025. So, I mean, how do you think that's going to react to the price action?
If it's
even
gonna
though
drop,
they were pre-ordered, you know.
people are already buying the rumor and selling the news, so a lot of that's already priced in. So, usually when you actually physically have the release, unless there's like something like there's a catalyst following that or something to look forward to following that, normally you have pullbacks. So it might travel up until the release as more people are finding out about it and trying to be as early as possible to that event. But it's always buy the rumor and sell the news in cryptocurrency. So there's possibly going to be a pullback is what I'm thinking about that. Now, if the pullback will come as it's released or before it's released, right? Now, as people utilize it and they have some type of use case to where you either gain tokens from the blockchain or there's some type of reason to actually want to utilize this that actually really draws more revenue or more demand or more eyes to their cause, then I think that's when you have the bounce and it starts to go back up, especially if we got bullish times in the market. Then that'll be perfect timing. It really depends on the timing in the market and how they handle the release and what are the catalysts actually utilizing this device. Why do I utilize this over my Switch or Xbox or anything else? So
we did see that they earn rewards too, right? For pre-ordering one or purchasing one. So
Yeah.
they will get rewards in other tokens. So
Yeah, but you gotta remember. I'm glad that they're not doing it in their native token. That's great, but you gotta remember the knee jerk reaction from people. You know what I mean? There's
Oh, yeah,
how
sure.
how many rewards do I get? Is this worth me
Yeah.
putting in the time that I'm going to be utilizing for these rewards? Or I didn't pre-order it. Can I play and get rewards? Are these rewards rewarding enough for with me getting this device? There's just so many different mentalities you got to kind of comb through.
We shall see. I mean, they're completely sold out. So see how it pans
Yeah,
out.
yeah, definitely. I'm definitely interested in it. But I think that only reason I pulled up XLM is because XLM, I feel like this is a sleeping giant. Also, it's at a really low point right now, and to me and a lot of other people feel like this is like baby XRP as they do really similar things. Just one's in a super early state, like when we were seeing XRP kind of trading around 50 cents for forever and under 50 cents. This one's at about 30 cents, and if it does have similar reactions to XRP, especially if XRP does well, I think that this one kind of follows closely behind it and is a sleeper and not really like widely talked about. People definitely talk about XLM, but definitely something that I feel like people should pay attention to.
I've been asleep on XLM. XLM, you know, we've heard about it. We've heard the name, but yeah, I've definitely been not paying attention to XLM. So
There's only
maybe
so
something.
much to go around, right?
Man, it's you know, it's like you see something shiny. It's like, okay, new toy, and those are popping up all over the place. So
Yeah, and then speaking of new toys, new and old toy, this in the meantime, nice push up. We're getting closer and closer to that range, and now we're in a spot where we're being pinned down by this orange line in between the Bollinger Bands and the support level, which I should have flipped as a support. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm lacking. So on the support level that we're at right this second. So we're like getting pinched down, and we're getting a squeeze in on the 3-day. As you can see, the Bollinger Band squeezing in nicely. The only thing you need is a nice catalyst or announcement, and we get a nice push up. What's going on, Taka? Happy Friday to you too, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping in. What up, Corey? What's the word, Corey? What up? What up, people? What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? Just going over this market, man. Crazy market. Looking at what we got eyes on right this second. As of right this second, man, we went through Bitcoin, a lot of other things, and now we're on this in the meantime chart, which in the meantime is always intriguing. But I think once this thing really breaks out, and because we're right underneath the $1 million market cap, we had opportunities at what, like 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, the consolidation around 800 to 900,000. And to get in underneath that $1 million market cap. Now, once we actually begin to push, the next real level of like major resistance is around this range, which is about $2.1 million market cap, which is already about a 2x or so. If we don't get bogged down there and actually have some good volume, depending on demand or push, like I said, once you pass that previous resistance, you're back in the price discovery, and as long as you still have demand, and I think that people will have demand, especially if we're pushing at a time to where the market's pushing, and it looks like we might just do that with how this squeeze is kind of organizing. It's been a nice consolidation around this range, and it's looking damn good around this range, man. So.
and that's one thing you can tell, like just the way that it has consolidated. That's a community holding a floor, and that's really nice to see, especially because there's a lot of projects out there where you go, what are you on the 3-day chart?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's a little bit of time, and the fact that it's really kind of staying within a certain level, that just goes to show you that the people who have bought into this, yeah, there's been people take some profits. It's the name of the game. Take profit, put money in, make more money. Name of the game. But you have a community that is holding a floor, and willing to hold the bag that they have, which is nice to see. When you have a strong community, especially in the meme space, it really is about the narrative. It's about the community, and this project here, man. Just being an outsider and looking in, they seem to be doing things the right way, which is building, and not just trying to hype it up and do absolutely nothing with it.
Yeah.
This team is actually trying to do something and let the do something be the hype, and it's got a strong community holding a strong floor right around that million. $1 million. If it goes to $10 million market cap, we've seen projects do that real fast.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a 10x.
Yeah.
That's a 10x from right here. If it goes higher, you're making more than 10x. I promise you, I think we all would be very happy if we got into projects and they all made 10x's.
Yeah.
I'd be extremely happy about that. So, man, I get encouraged when I see that right there, just because you don't have people panic selling. It's not doing anything, so I'm going to sell my bag. If that happens, you got people right behind them coming in and picking up the floor and making sure that it's still stable and just increasing their bag. That 600K didn't last for very long.
No.
That 700K didn't last for very long, and here we are right at that $1 million point. So, man, hats off to the in the meantime those ones who are clocking in and not clock blocking.
Yeah.
It's nice to see. It gives me vibes of some other projects that we've been in the past that had super strong communities.
Yeah.
That did extremely well when it comes to like market cap size and things like that. So, and I think this team, I think they have a past, that shows that they know how to do that. So we'll, it's one I'm definitely excited about, and I continually am, adding the bag, whether it be through tapping or throwing $25 here or $25 there, $50, whatever it is. I'm just steadily trying to increase that bag size for in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And Corey says, shit just got done washing up the old school. Okay. I don't know what type of old school you got, man, but that sounds like a fun activity. Definitely would like to be washing up the old school, looking at the shine, sitting back. I think that's just a thing you got to do, man. That motorcycle, that toy car you got, you know what I mean? Whatever. Everybody has different toys. I actually been thinking about getting into those gas powered RC cars. I don't know why that's catching my eye, but I've been thinking about it, man. You know what I mean? I've been
there you go.
Seeing it, and the kids like them. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It might be a new hobby that I pick up.
Corey, I've been seeing a lot of videos of like it's one guy who does like detail work, but like he'll take a picture of something, like but it's the reflection, and he'll be like, hey, I'm done with your detail, and it'll be like a picture of a truck, and he's like, the person's like, I brought a boat, and then they zoom out, and it's like the reflection is so clear that the detail work is so good that you can get. It's pretty fire. I don't know if you've seen those, but
oh yeah, I need to get his line. That's what I need.
That's fire.
Yeah, all the pollen I'm getting down here, I might need that guy's contact.
Facts.
Hey, but
we just get rain.
We're at the point of the stream to where when you see this screen, if you guys got a cryptocurrency you guys want us to look into, you guys got a project you want us to check into, we can give honest opinions on it. You know what I mean? Feel free to throw anything in there, and that's from TikTok to Twitch to YouTube or X, whatever platform you're on. Throw something in the chat if you guys want us to check it out. If not, we will be wrapping this thing up soon.
Is it weird to anybody else to call it X still? To me, it's still weird. I want to call it Twitter.
Yeah, I keep almost calling it Twitter. This is why the slight pause before it. So
it gets me. Like I'll say X, but I'm like Twitter. I used to call it Elon's playground. One of those things.
Yeah,
it still feels like Twitter though.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Hey, but I wanna just throw something in there. I know we're running out of time here, but how much Trump do you hold? Are you gonna be beating him for dinner?
Nope. I had that article pulled up, and then I saw this screen come up, so I closed it down.
Oh, if you got it pulled up, I got time.
Oh, let me see. I you know me, I can get it quick.
Yeah, I don't know what are you gonna order at the dinner menu?
Oh, it depends on what's on the menu, but I'm probably gonna go with the steak because I like steak.
When you sit elbow to elbow and break bread with Trump, because you.
All we're gonna do is talk about golf. That's all. I'm just gonna pick his ear, pick his brain about golf and all of his golf courses, and see if he can get me on at
Scotland,
Trump Dubai.
I'll say that not a whole lot of people are interested in dinner with only 5.2K in volume.
Yeah, but there was an article that came out earlier. It was talking about dinner with the U.S. president. All you need is $420 worth of Trump. So they got this competition thing going on where the top 220 people holding, and that's not including not just the top 220 on, if you go to like, what is it, Soul Scan or whatever it is. It's not because they got wallets and all of the other stuff, distribution wallets, marketing wallets, and things like that. But if you hold like the top, I think number 220 is like $420. That's how much they have. So you got a chance to have dinner with Mr. President Donald Trump. 45, 47. Look, that dude right there. Y'all think that's a real gold fork? I bet it's. I bet it's probably real gold. But anyways, but there was a couple of, they put a tweet out. So if you really want to dive into it, check out the Trump Meme Coin X page. The Trump Meme Coin team clarifies that the top 220 holders with a minimum of 420 in Trump, and it's a minimum of 420 because there's people who have 420 and they're the top 220. So you got to get bigger in that. But we see Trump's volume surge 70% this week, moving along with the rest of the market. So it's really nice. They also said that any tokens unlocked will remain inaccessible for 90 days. That way, there's no it doesn't affect the competition or anything like that. The team's not coming in and unlocking tokens so that they got a chance.
Right.
So,
okay. Well,
but yeah, you got a chance to have dinner with the U.S. president. If you want to talk about some, president who is, I'm gonna go black screen here, Cuff. If you want to talk about a crypto-friendly president, I mean, how much more crypto-friendly do you need to be? All you have to do is hold this cryptocurrency, and you can have dinner with the president. That's pretty crypto-friendly.
yeah, that's interesting. Interesting catalyst for holding the cryptocurrency. Well, I've been wanting and kind of waiting on either a celebrity or a larger person who launches a cryptocurrency to utilize themselves as a utility per se. You know what I mean? Whether it be concerts or music downloads, or you know what I mean, just anything to try to facilitate positive motion and correlation between Web 2 and Web 3 projects. So
kind of like Sammy used to do.
Yeah, Sammy definitely had his own thing going, man. He came out with some things, and then he took it off of like Spotify and he put it back on Spotify. So I think he's in between trying to find like that sweet spot of how you really earn a lot, because I know the money from the NFTs, once the hype dies down, because NFTs have hype periods, it probably is slow on the revenue side. So you probably do need a Spotify or something else to kind of facilitate gains for that. But you still want your music to be exclusive to the people who are buying it through NFT. So he's been utilizing like a locked key version of music that people can access by actually owning his NFTs or stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to go jam out to that song later. I haven't heard it in forever. Maybe get some Meta Girl.
That Meta Girl, yeah. I haven't heard that in a while either, right?
I just love the fact that he did it in like so many different styles. Shout out to Sammy out there.
Yeah. I actually on Spotify, I actually found him and was looking at some of the different things that he had going on there. I do not think that he has I don't think that he has any of the Web3 songs on there. I think because he's been trying to keep that specifically like Web3.
Yeah, specifically Web3. That way, those holders still have that exclusivity. Big word. I think I used it right.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Exclusivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all, it is the second round of the draft is coming up. It's like already started. And Shedeur Sanders, I still think, has not been drafted.
Duval.
But yeah, that could be a topic for next time. Our thoughts on the NFL draft.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if you guys can still hear music or not, but I got some Sammy on the countryside of the world tuned in. Can you guys hear that?
I can hear you.
The last person on earth that you want to see. Bet you're all cried out.
I think we can wrap up with a little Sammy.
Sorry, don't do it. Yeah, it might sound stupid, but I fucked up. Take the blame. God, I hope that I ain't too late. All it took was the thought of you leaving to be strong enough to face my demons. No, I don't. You said your grace.
Not bad.
Good old Sammy. Yeah, not bad. I was about to say, you about to get demonetized real quick. You play any more of that song.
Yeah, I was about to say I got about a good 30 seconds in. Sammy, if they send you a notification, how about not dinging me? Trying to help. You know what I'm saying?
You've been on the channel. You've been here.
You've been
bro.
here. You've rocked with us, bro. So when you see Covenant Dip, use your music, bro. Just be like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? No, but seriously, you guys want to say anything before we wrap this one up? Right at that hour mark.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate everybody tuning in. It's Friday, so hope everybody has a great weekend. And tap back in with us Monday. Same time, same place.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. It's been nice to be back. It's been a good week. I forgot how much fun streaming was, and that's fun. I'm glad that it's been a fun week hanging out with Grind, hanging out with you, Cuff, as always, and then hanging out with everybody out there. It's been fun. So we're back. We're back, baby. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you like I always leave you. 2 things in this world you can control: attitude and effort. Stay positive. Give 110% in everything you do. Appreciate you. Love you. We out of here.
Indeed, man. So that has been it, man. I appreciate all you guys coming out, man. It's always fun. On TikTok, we have some people coming in, man. We got about 487 likes. So I appreciate all fingers that decided to tap a few times on that screen, man. It is greatly appreciated. Anybody who stopped in, man, it's not always about the gifts and all that good stuff, especially when we're streaming like this. It is all about the gifts. If you see me on there battling, tap in with your boy. Send me a lion. No, I'm just playing. Seriously, though, definitely tap in. Show a little love sometimes. Sometimes I'm on the trolling stuff. I'll battle. I might be able to get Justin and Grind on TikTok one day. It may be next year, but I may be able to get them on there at some point. But other than that, man, you guys
Man, if they don't make it so damn hard,
Justin's already able to go live. I gave him the link and he's already able to go live, bro.
I need
I'm actually not.
I need this, I need that.
Watch when we get off, I'm gonna show you able to go live. Watch, I'm telling you. All right, so we're gonna end this with the outro, man. I appreciate you guys. We're out of here. Tune in next time. Monday is gonna be the next stream, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.